Hey loves, thanks for stopping back at my channel. If this is your first visit to my YouTube channel, thank you. I appreciate you checking it out. Of course, I hope that you'll enjoy what you see and hear and that you'll continue to come back for more. If you watch a video and you like it, give your girl a thumbs up. And of course, hit the red subscribe button at the top right and help me in expanding and growing this channel. I am Nancy and I'm your life advice vlogger. I love to talk about all types of different topics, but my main goal with this channel is to shed light and share love. So I love to be of inspiration. I love to talk about the topics that maybe people don't talk about or that they would like a different perspective on or whatever. So if you have any ideas for topics, feel free to send me a message, or if you have any questions, I love feedback. Just know that if you put comments in the comment section after a video, if you don't have a YouTube channel yourself, whether you use it or not, it doesn't matter. But if you don't actually have a YouTube channel, I won't be able to see the comments. Not sure why, but that is the way it is. So if that's the case and you don't have a YouTube channel and you don't feel like getting one just for the purpose of making comments, then go ahead and email me and I'm happy to get back to you that way. So today I really want to talk about just the transformation in when you're really going through a period of growth, personal growth, how it feels, how to lack of words here, how to really get through the growth and understand that in the process there will be a lot of letting go of things that no longer serve you. There will be a lot of discomfort, and there will be pain as well, because sometimes when we have to let people, places, or things go, when we don't feel we're ready or we still care about them, it's very, very difficult. When I moved to Arizona 3 years ago from Chicago, I cut so many cords with people that I frequently spoke to or saw. Some of them I would say I considered friends. Some of them I considered acquaintances. And some I just considered people that I knew that for business reasons I was involved with. And there's a difference, a huge difference in all three of those. But when I moved here, I knew that I had made a decision for myself that it was time for a clean slate. And although all of those people, whether they were in the friendship box, the acquaintance box, or I just happen to know you box, all of them in one way or another served a purpose and filled a void for me. I kept very busy when I lived in Chicago before I moved here. I kept very busy for reasons of my own fears, lack of self-worth, just unhappiness, and if there's such a word, disalignment in my own life. And I didn't realize all of that until I moved here to Arizona and started growing and transforming and being on my journey. And so what I really want to talk about in this video is that when we are at a place in time where we feel disarray in our life, or there's just something missing, or we're stuck, it's a sign that we need to turn in and address ourselves. It's not ever about anyone else. It really isn't about anyone else. I have been in a marriage where I was cheated on. I have been in an abusive, physically and emotionally abusive marriage. I have been in a wonderful marriage with a great man who treated me better than anyone has before, but I wasn't aligned with him in the way that I want to be aligned with someone who is my spouse, and that goes romantically, passionately, sexually, physically, emotionally, all the things. And so I've been in these different types of relationships, and although in those relationships at the time I wasn't aware of disalignment or unalignment, I'm completely aware of it now. And I'm completely aware of what the signs were then and what wasn't happening or was happening then. And if I knew back then what I know now, there are some of those relationships that I probably would have never chosen. But I'm glad I chose them, and they had to have been chosen because I couldn't get to where I am today if those things didn't happen. And so with that said, I just want to say it's kind of, I'm finding a lack of how to really say what I'm feeling. So me, the wordsmith here, is going to struggle a little through that to get my point across, hopefully, so that you'll understand why I feel this is such an important video. I believe that relationships are so important, and I believe that there are so many people in relationships that are not aligned and either trying really, really hard to make them work, but the fate is that they won't work because the two people are unaligned. And that doesn't mean that either person is a bad person or doing anything wrong. It just means that one person's at a different level of energy and like personal growth, and the other person isn't moving along in their own growth. And so they're in two different places. When I say different levels, even if I say one is elevating higher, that doesn't mean that person's better than the other person. So I just want to be very clear on that. This is never about, well, I'm better than him, or I'm better than her, or he's better than me, or vice versa. This is just about each person's individual personal growth and where you're at. If you are ideally aligned with your partner, your mate, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, whatever I said, spouse, then both of you individually will be growing constantly, personally growing, and both of you together will be growing as a couple, two different types of growth. But if each of you is not growing on your own, the two of you can't elevate and grow together. Can't happen. Because someone is staying in their space and they're not taking on the energy and all the gifts and blessings of that other person and their soul energy as it mixes into the other person's energy and relation in the whole relationship. And for lack of better words, it's almost as if I meet someone or someone meets me and I'm stuck or they're stuck and we're set in our ways. And no matter what that other person says or does to compliment us, and when I say compliment, I don't mean saying, hey, you look good. I mean, like, all in all, compliment us as a human. Then one person is growing and one person's staying because they don't feel like they need to grow. They don't want to grow, or they don't need to grow, or they're just stuck in a place, even though they may not realize they're stuck. And if the other person is really striving to grow and awaken and transform as they go through life, like we should, it's not going to be a relationship that will probably last. And if it does last, it's going to be conflicting a lot. It's not going to fulfill each other's needs to the extent that we all deserve our needs fulfilled. I love that I can talk about this now, and I know already it's going to make me emotional to talk about it. But as you all know, and watching previous videos, I'm not afraid or embarrassed to cry on here and be real. So I'm just letting you know I already feel a lot of emotion around doing this video, because I feel, number one, extreme gratitude that I have finally found a place of understanding when it comes to why two people can't work and why two other people can. Relationships are hard enough as they are because two totally different people with maybe things in common, similar interests, the same religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs, kids in common, whatever, hobbies in common, think they can get together, and they can, and they have that going for them. But then they don't always think about just the individual characteristics, morals, beliefs, personalities, and I don't want to say work ethic, but that's a part of it, but just the striving to do better and constantly grow. There are a lot of people out there that don't consciously think about whether they're striving to continue to grow. They just go through life like a robot, and they think everything's fine, and they think they're in a good place, and they just want to hustle and do whatever, and they think everything is just going to get better. But in my experience, in my awakening, in my transformation, first and foremost, I know that the Spirit is the biggest factor in how we grow and go or not. This is not a religious video. I am not a religious person, but I believe in God, absolutely believe in God, and I believe in spirit and energy. I believe in angels. I believe in guides. I believe in the universe and the energy around us and the power that it has to move us, to teach us, to show us, to speak to us. And that has nothing to do with religion. I was born into a religion. Both my parents are of the same religion. I don't practice that religion or any other religion. I got married back in 2008, and I didn't convert, but I was baptized in a different religion than of my own. And I practiced that religion for a while through that marriage. And then through the divorce of that marriage between 2011 and 2013, I cut all religious beliefs. For a while there, I questioned God. I wondered why God, and for a while was not even sure I believed there is a God. And then as that transformation went on, I found my spirit, and I found my soul, and I turned way in and looked at myself. I looked at myself harder and deeper and longer than I ever have before. And I did not look to anyone or anything from my past or present time to figure out why I feel, look, act, and think the way that I do. I hope and pray that through this video and how I'm explaining what I'm trying to get across, that you will understand. I don't have fancy words. I'm not some fancy speaker, but I'm speaking from what is in my heart to share, in the only way that I know how to explain my experience. And the reason why I want my experience to be shared with you is because I know for a fact that there are so many people out there stuck within themselves, stuck in a job, stuck in a family, stuck in a relationship, or stuck alone, wondering where is the love? Why am I not good enough? Why don't I look pretty enough? Why don't I look buff enough? Why am I not smart enough? And I'm here to tell you that you are pretty enough and buff enough and smart enough and good enough and worthy enough. But no one, no place, no thing outside of you, yourself, and you can fine-tune and fix. I don't really want to say fix, but fix, address, understand how to move through those feelings and rise above them. It only comes from you. I didn't know that I had a self-worth issue until within these last 2 years on this journey of mine. My whole life, I thought of myself as a kind, compassionate, funny, loving human being. I found myself attractive. I never had any lack of attention from men, from friends. I made friends easily. I had boyfriends easily. I attracted men easily. I felt beautiful. But it wasn't until within these last 2 years of my journey, losing 50 pounds, changing my lifestyle and turning in that I realized that my entire life I didn't think I was good enough for a relationship, for love, for a man to be loyal to me and honest, and to really, truly just see me as the apple of his eye. I didn't think I was smart enough to get a better job or to do better, to earn more money. I didn't think I was worthy of a bigger salary or to have money in the bank. And it shocks me. It shocks me because my whole life, almost 50 years, I was not aware that that's what lived in me and in my dominant brain. When I say dominant brain, I mean the part that controls. So like, you know how they always talk about, well, you can think one thing and then that little person on your shoulder saying, nope, something else. So the dominant brain is the one that even if you don't think it, that dominant brain is the one that has the power. So until you really address what's deep, deep, deep in you and have faith and start affirming and having conviction over your thoughts and have faith in your beliefs and build that faithful foundation, you can't manifest the change and grow the change. Manifestation is the law of attraction. It is the way of everything in life. It is. And some people out there may think that's crazy. They may think it's witchcraft and voodoo shit. They may think she's off her fucking rocker. And that's okay. But between a belief in God and the power of never being alone and the power of knowing that I am always looked after, I am always supported, I am always loved by God, by the source, and knowing the power of my beliefs and my actions and how I nurture and care for myself or not is how the result of my life will look and feel and be. God, I hope that made sense. So all I want out of this video is for people to make the time, not find the time, but make the time, because no one will ever find the time. Make the time for yourself in 2020 to really look at yourself. I am looking at 2019 as a year that was good. It wasn't amazing, but it was really good. But it's time to cut cords and let go of so many things. I have transitioned out of corporate America this year and taken a huge leap of faith into my business, which I know will be amazing in 2020. I took a huge risk. I decided to not sit back and count on the paycheck and worry about and stress over, I need the paycheck. And instead, I need to do what is in my heart that I'm compassionate about, that I have desire to do, that's the burning fire in my soul work, my purpose work. So I'm going to take that leap of faith. It's very difficult to do that for most people, including me, but I'm doing it. I've talked about it a lot, never done it. So now I am. There are people who I love that I have to let go. There are things I'm involved with that I have to not do anymore, not keep as a part of my life. And that letting go stuff is excruciating. And it takes time. And I'm not asking anyone to just rashly cut all these cords. I'm not doing that. I'm preparing myself mentally and emotionally. But here's the point of all of what I just said. If you are growing and you're choosing to grow and work on yourself, and you are working on yourself every day, like I am, like I have been, when something is stuck, when you are holding on to something or someone that is not moving forward with you, that is not growing with you, for whatever their reasons, which are none of your business, which you have no control over, you will not be able to receive the blessings that are in store for you if you do not shut that door and lock it and then open the new door for you, to you. I'm not saying that, well, this person is this way and there's someone better. It's not one of those the grass is greener on the other side thing. And this is not just pertaining to relationships. This could be your work. This could be family members, friends, things you're involved in, groups, businesses, contracts. If you're holding on to some of those things, you're blocking the blessings. You are not opening space for the blessings that are so ready to be bestowed upon you. So it's really hard, because if you're not ready to let go, or you feel like, well, wait, maybe I need to still be doing this, or wait, but I love this person and I want to give it more time, and you have free will, so you can do whatever you want. But there does come a point, and I'm only telling you this because I'm telling you from my experience and what's happening to me currently. As I grow, I feel stronger, and I feel so much more clarity around what I need to fuel me and keep me going. I know what I deserve now. I didn't know back then. I knew what I deserved, but I didn't believe. I didn't have the faith. I didn't have the belief inside that I deserved to be treated a certain way or loved a certain way or whatever. But now I do. And when you get to that point and you know that you're on a mission of growth, some things automatically fall off. Some things you need to ask for extra help from God, from the universe, from your guides, your angels. And some things you need to take charge and initiate the cord cutting yourself. And wish those people well and those places well and their memories, and you had great times and whatever the thing is. But when two things, people, places, things are not aligned and both growing and moving, it's not always the right. It's just those people, places, and things were there for a purpose. They were not there for a lifetime. And I firmly believe that if two people are meant to be together, they will find their way back. If a business arrangement is meant to be for a group of people, if a home is meant to be, if a family situation is meant to be, if a job situation is meant to be, then it will find its way back if it's meant to be. There's an old saying, if you set something free, it'll come back to you. If it doesn't, it was never meant to be. And I really firmly believe in that. But one thing that I have done my whole life was stay in relationships for way longer than I ever should have. And I'm grateful that I did, because it taught me what I needed to know. But when you're not being fulfilled in the way that you deserve to be, when you have needs that are left unfulfilled and either ignored or just not addressed, or it just seems there's not concern, they don't matter as much to someone else as they do to you, those are all things that you need to look at. And you need to love yourself more than you love any person, place, or thing. I love my children. I love my grandchildren more than life. But I don't love them more than me. I love me first. I love me the most. Because if I don't find love and worth in my own heart, in my own spirit, then I am not capable of loving another human being in the way that they too deserve to be loved. So a lot of times we are with people that truly love us, that we truly love, but they only can love us to the extent that they are capable of loving themselves. And that is why you must love yourself first. And if that takes you 5 years of solitude to figure out and do and be, then honor yourself that gift, because it's the best gift you'll ever give yourself. So I know I kind of went all over the place with trying to explain where I'm going with this video, but I think it's really important. This is a very big year of letting go for everyone, not just for me. It's just the way the planets are aligned, all the stuff in the universe and the energy around us is really, truly, hugely about letting go and having a fresh start. And I'm not saying this means everyone needs to go let go of all the shit they're doing now, or let go of all their relationships, or get divorced, or break up with their boyfriends or girlfriends. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just find clarity, understand your needs, understand your worth, and think about whether the people, places, and things that you have in your circle, in your everyday life, are giving back to you what you deserve, are fulfilling the needs of your heart and soul, and are you fulfilling theirs? Because you may not be fulfilling theirs either, and that's unalignment. It's time to step it up a notch. It's time to love yourself. It's time to cut cords, and it's time to surrender to receiving everything that the world has in store for you. And you cannot do that if you're being held back by cords that have to be cut. So, on that somber note, this was not a deep, dark, bad video. I know I've been, in my emotions and stuff. It's an emotional video for me. It's an emotional topic. It's a reality for a lot of people. But I don't want to leave you with this kind of dark feeling or dark energy around it, because the truth is, the positive of this video, and I will always find the positive in everything, is your growth. What's in store for you? You can have anything you want in money, in time, in people, in love, in abundance, in prosperity. But you can't have those things to the maximum effect unless you love, honor, nurture your soul and your heart first and fully. Because you cannot be fully capable of sharing the love with people that people need, and your gifts and your energy and your voice and your beliefs in the way that you're meant to in this life, in this temporary life, until you have worked on you and conquered you. And I'm 50 years young, and it took this long, and that's okay. Some people figure this shit out when they're young, and some people don't. Some people may not figure it out until they're 70 and they're ill, and something happens, this knock on their brain, and they dive in and go inward and do the work. But all I can tell you and what I'll leave you with is it is an amazing journey. It's an amazing feeling. Even the fear of having to let go of some things, because you are on the brink of such a sick, amazing, enormous breakthrough. And you are covered, you are protected, you are supported, you are loved. And although this might hurt now, the moment you break through to all that is to be, you will be free. And those feelings will not be there. You will wish well on the others, and you will provide peace and love and send it always, but you will be free to move forward into your own destiny. So I hope you got something out of this. I love you guys so much, and I really appreciate your time and being here with me on this journey. Before I get to 30 minutes, I'm cutting it off. So until next time, I love you, you matter, and peace out.